Undecided Option Part 2 Nier Automata Discarded Record. The shadow of the great tree passed over the machine life-form with the cloth sack another 3 times. Then he could finally move his body again. He returned to making flowers. He put careful work into each one. He still did not understand their significance. The child that brought flowers had not come again. He tried not to think about it. Or rather, it was better that he didn't think about it. His missing emotions set off error messages. To avoid those, his thought processes turned away from the child. Eventually, he completely forgot about the child. One day, when he was absorbed in creating flowers, he heard soft footsteps. They were not the footsteps of a machine lifeform. It was a female android. She identified herself as a member of the Resistance. The Resistance, the army stationed on Earth meant to fight the machine lifeforms. Yes, hello. So greeted the machine lifeform with the cloth sack, surprising the Resistance android. So the rumors were true. You are quite the gentle machine lifeform. At this time, the war between the androids and the machine lifeforms was settling to a close. Yet, it was still rare to meet a machine lifeform that did not show hostility, or at least caution. But they certainly weren't friendly enough for a chat. The Resistance android came to deliver a message. We've gained information that nearby there is a camp of extremist androids. They may be our fellow soldiers, but if they mean to interfere with the coming peace, we cannot ignore them. We mean to strike them before they take action. The android explained its plan to the sack-carrying machine lifeform. Androids and machine lifeforms. They had existed as enemies, and she understood this. But in order to achieve peace, a hand offered from any ally was welcome. So, she came to Pascal's village. She had heard of the village of peace-loving machine lifeforms. In coming here, she encountered the machine lifeform that showed no animosity. He was likely to help us. She believed this. To answer her hope, the machine lifeform with the sack said, "I understand," and it promised to spread the word of cooperation to the other machine lifeforms around the world. That was what Pascal would have done. In the ravine near where Pascal's village used to be, a joint force of the Resistance and ally machine lifeforms clashed, with the extremist android unit camped there. The attack ended in victory for the joint forces. The machine lifeform with the cloth sack survived the battle, likely due to playing a support role away from the front line. The corpses of androids and machine lifeforms told the story of the attack. The machine lifeform with the sack put out fires around the battleground. He came upon the female android that first gave him the news of the attack. She was supporting on her shoulder another Resistance member with a terrible wound. If it were just the Resistance, our strength wouldn't have been enough. We succeeded because of you. My thanks. To her grateful words, he quickly answered, "Not at all, not at all." A few members of the extremist group escaped, but they would be found and purged before long. Well then, keep your head up. The machine lifeform said this as he turned to go. But after taking a step, he stopped, seeing little flowers at his feet. They were not machine-made, they were peculiar-shaped and real. The rich purple-colored petals stretched towards the sun. By the flowers, he noticed little pieces of debris laying around. Without thinking, he reached down towards it. On touching the debris, it made a quiet scraping sound. He had heard this sound before. It was the sound of metal fingers on metal fingers, making a promise. He suddenly remembered what he forgot. He fell to his knees. Ah yes, this was... They were his missing emotions. To protect his heart, he cast them away along with his memories of horror and pain. His body now shook with the fear that he could have died here, and the hopelessness at losing the child. Pascal once thought to teach the children about various emotions and other knowledge. He thought it would foster love of peace and discourage war. But instead, a tragedy happened. On seeing the village cruelly destroyed, the children felt the newly learned emotions of fear and hopelessness so painfully that they could not handle them, and so chose to destroy themselves. In turn, Pascal could not handle the pain of losing the children. He wished to forget his memories. To Pascal, to the machine life form with the cloth sack, those memories could not return. But in case they did, he knew he had to be alive for that moment. He returned to the village and began making flowers from the remains of the children. He made them in the image of the fire-like blooms found in battle zones, and so he finally remembered why he was doing this. They were tributes to his companions. They were his repentance for failing to protect the village. This will be the last flower. He decided to readopt the name Pascal. He did it to affirm his love of peace. Through the efforts of Pascal, the army of humanity and the peaceful machine lifeforms agreed to a pact of truce. 15 years passed. A flourishing village bustled around Pascal. Some were absorbed in reading. Children cheerfully chased each other. Others engaged in games. There were not only machine lifeforms, but androids as well. They lived in cooperation. Pascal's village was restored to a state grander than before. The great burned tree had even begun to grow leaves again. Pascal was deeply moved taking in the sight as machine lifeform children ran up to him. One of them held a colorful picture book. "Mr. Pascal, there's a word in this book. What does scary mean?" The picture book was made by the humans from ages past. It was a frightening ghost story. "It is an emotion we don't need." Pascal said it with a smile. The children did not press any further. "We don't need scary. We don't need scary." The children ran off to find another game. He watched them go and then left the village to head somewhere, to the ravine where he fought the extremist androids with the resistance. It was abandoned. There lay the remains of androids, machines, and the last of extremism. Onto that heap of discarded things, Pascal dropped the picture book. It made a soft, dry sound. A severed android arm. A machine lifeform head with eyes gone dark, black viscous liquid trailing from its mouth. A leg bent backwards. A rusty, worn gear. And on top of it all, an open picture book with the image of a ghost, smiling. He noted the sight and quickly returned to the village. In the village, the flowers he had made were blooming as always. From the day he vowed to stop making them, their numbers had not increased. I pray that the children will live happy with no knowledge of fear. Pascal, today again, addressed a small flower. For them I will